Everybody is looking forward to Joss Whedon's Justice League.
I'm so glad he's back.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Okay, look, here's the thing. People have their problems with Zack Snyder, the old ZS train. But this is pretty funny. Some news came out. It will have been the other day at this point, but I think it's funny. WB executives called Joss Whedon's Justice League basically stupid. There's a lot more to it than that. But...
Yeah, this is basically it was one exec who came out anonymously, naturally. Of course,
he should have put his name down there.
He absolutely
He'd be a hero.
He would have.
He's just saying what we're all thinking. Like, is it really that bad?
No, I think he was absolutely right. So it was a Warner Bros. Exec. This is from Games Radar, by the way, is where we got this.
Cool, thank you so much.
To cite my sources, MLA.
Cool, very cool.
He said that he thought Joss Whedon's Justice League was, and I quote, goofy and awful. Which is kind of what everyone thought. So it's not like this crazy hot take, to be honest with you. But the fact that it's coming from a Warner Bros. Exec is a little bit more spicy.
Goofy and awful. Yeah, well, that's the problem, too, is a lot of it is. I mean, I know that there's whole videos, and I even made a video talking about what I thought about Justice League, the Joss Whedon, original cut, a while back, years after it came out. But I just watched it and talked about it. Everyone knows that. I don't think this is any new information. Even people who thought the movie was enjoyable, that's it. It's just, it was fun. That was my comment on it. It was dumb fun. I had a good time. A lot of stuff was stupid. For example, Batman all of a sudden not being in very good shape was random.
Yeah, that was kind of tough.
That was weird. The writing in a lot of spots was really iffy.
Steppenwolf wasn't a great villain.
No, he's actually a pretty bad villain. Yeah. All of a sudden, Batman acting like he was BFFs with Superman when they met each other and spent a total of probably 15 minutes or 20 minutes together on screen. And it's like, the world needs Clark. Clark would know what to do. I like Clark. Over and over. Stuff like that. Unnecessary. I mean, the movie didn't know what it was. But it seems like WB knows that too.
Yeah, they came out. And the quote exactly from this Warner Bros. Exec is he said, when we got to see what Joss actually did, it was stupefying. The robber on the rooftop, so goofy and awful. The Russian family, which is referencing at the end when they're trying to save the Russian family.
But it's the only family.
The only one in the entire area. So useless and pointless. Everyone knew it. It was so awkward because nobody wanted to admit what a piece of garbage it was.
No.
Which is also, that's kind of a problem though, isn't it? Like, I feel like as a Warner Bros. Exec, if you're watching a trash heap being made is what you think of it, you should absolutely be able to say that that's bad. We should probably fix that. But is there a point where you also don't want to be the studio that interferes and everything? Is that where...
They already are, though. Like, why didn't they interfere in this?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just making a point here. WB interferes, or has had a reputation with interfering a lot.
So why stop here?
Yeah. I mean, Joker with Todd Phillips, people are even afraid, are they going to mess with this? Disney does the same thing. A lot of times it's like, you can't do that. Change that.
Yeah.
We don't like that. Maybe add this element.
And that's where you get the Marvel formula. We're like, as you've mentioned this before too, with like the X-Men movies, that was way more hands-off from the studio. They just let them do whatever they want. And it was a bit more risky. And sure, it wasn't as consistently
and
quality.
Some of them were worse, but some were Logan.
But it was exactly.
Some were Logan, some were Deadpool.
There were highs and lows.
That's the thing is and you look at the MCU, there's some great stuff in there, but I don't even think the best films in the MCU are as good of a film as Logan. Just to be honest with you. I mean, they'll be close. But I just don't think so.
There's some close ones. Yeah, there's some good ones in there. But I see what you're saying.
Though. You have this cream of the crop, not only an amazing superhero movie, but an amazing movie. Same with Joker. Joker, I would say Joker is up there. I think there's very few MCU movies close to Joker in quality. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean they're not great, but this is magnum opus level in the superhero genre. Yeah. Amazing. That's what you get when you let directors do their own thing. I think that's what people are... Now, I'm not hoping for this. I mean, it would be nice to see, but I just don't expect it. I think that's what some people are hoping for now with James Gunn being involved in, Suicide Squad. Yeah. Because Guardians 1 is just considered fantastic, and the Marvel was actually pretty hands-off with him with that, because here's the thing. It was a low-risk movie. Mm-hmm. No one knew who the Guardians were. I did. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Like, somebody who read comics did. Right. People like us, we knew they existed. I never read Guardians comics before that, but I saw them, and I was like, huh, okay. And, I like walked on. And that's the thing, is they were pretty niche. And especially with people who didn't read the comics, none of them really knew who they were for the most part. And so it was such a niche thing. It wasn't like Spider-Man, where it's like, we have $1 billion riding on this. It's like, no, this should be a fun sci-fi movie. We can kind of expand into the cosmic, out in outer space part of the MCU. No worries. Just do whatever you want, James. Please make it good. We're trusting you here. We respect you. Please don't make it bad.
Yeah.
That's it.
And even if that, say, Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't great, and it didn't really work out.
Like the Hulk or something.
Yeah, they decided not to move on with it. It really, I think it would have absolutely impacted the way, obviously, things turned out in the end, but, they could have moved on without it because they had a giant, stash of content.
Well, you can see that too. They kind of put it out in somewhere in the universe where it could add to the canon, but not mess with anything.
Exactly.
And it was very obvious they were doing that, and kind of giving James Gunn a bubble to work in where they didn't need to interfere.
He can do whatever he wants.
That's what they did with Joker too, with for WB. Joker's that same way. Not to keep going back to Joker, but it's, hey, listen, this is pretty much its own universe. If you can read into the end of this however you want. Do you think Batman shows up eventually in the Joker universe because of what happened? Maybe he does. Do you think that it was all in Joker's head? Maybe it was. Have fun. They were able to do that because it wasn't so connected. But I think the thing with it comes back to this. The thing with the DCEU is that it's trying to be both. It's trying to be these good standalone movies while also connected with a studio that was rushing over and over. Instead of getting what we should have gotten was a Superman movie. Man of Steel could have started it.
Yep.
You think whatever you want about it. If you didn't, click with it, it could have gone on, past that.
I think it's a good movie. I really enjoyed it. And I think most people think it's a good, not great movie. It's just a good quality superhero movie. You could definitely start a universe with that movie.
But here's the thing. Look at how the MCU started. Iron Man, then you had like Hulk and Iron Man 2 were both kind of lower quality films. And it was able to pivot and keep going. But they did have these solo films. Thor, Captain America, all this stuff like that. And obviously after Phase 1, they had even more. But with DCEU, it was like, okay, we have a Superman movie. Now let's rush into Batman v Superman and then immediately Justice League. You have Wonder Woman in there too. But, there's not really much give or take here with building those characters up. We didn't get a Flash movie to introduce Flash. We didn't get anything with Cyborg prior to this to make us care about Cyborg. We didn't get a Batman movie. That's the one that's crazy. You're going to do Batman v Superman, but there's no Batman movie in that continuity at all. And we're just expected to care. We're expected to jump in and, Batman kills people now. Okay, I think we could buy that he snapped at some point. We could buy that. But you don't show us. You just drop us in once he's snapped, and it's like, deal with it, And people didn't click with that. So then, they were already on the fence with Snyder, and then they brought in Joss to fix it, and I think they realized somewhere in the middle, things aren't good just because Joss Whedon's name is on them.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, you mentioned Snyder, the exec came out and said, actually, that they were kind of hesitant in watching closely. The studio interference was happening with Snyder, and they were actually saying no to some of his ideas. To be specific, to go back to the article a little bit.
These ideas are really funny, by the way, before you get into them. Some of them,
very bad.
I don't want to be mean to Zack Snyder. I like him.
And I'm excited for the Snyder Cut. I can't wait for that movie.
And I've defended him several times. I'm not saying I'm a hero, but when BVS came out... No, listen, I'm not saying I'm a hero, but many people are. No, when Batman v Superman came out, you and I gave it a positive review for the theatrical. We liked it. We were a lot younger, but we had fun. I remember making a video about the Ultimate Edition and saying the same thing. Hey, listen, I was pretty lenient on this movie the first time because I was just so excited, but I like the Ultimate a lot better. Yeah, it's overstuffed because it's really long and stuff like that, but I enjoyed it. Even, Man of Steel, I love that movie. We don't dislike Zack Snyder, but these ideas, man, that they were watching are not prime real estate.
Great. It's not great at all. So yeah, they said how they were kind of babysitting over this a little bit, and the one idea that they mentioned that I think we both can say that we hate. I genuinely don't like this idea at all. Is the idea of Batman falling in love with Lois Lane, and then it being essentially, to summarize it, Batman would then be in conflict when he's trying to bring back Superman because he knows that Lois still loves Superman, and he's like, well, should I do this? I don't know,
because he wants to sleep with her, right?
Well, he's falling in love with her.
But basically, it's, I want to bone Lois Lane. Should I save the world by bringing back Superman, or should I get that sweet, sweet puss?
It's the age-old question, is what it is. And,
I mean, it's a fair question.
And I'm kind of, now that you mention it, I'm kind of flustered that we didn't get the answer.
Well, now that you mention it, this whole movie, it would have, instead of the Justice League, this would have been, you know, Batman v Superman?
Yeah.
This is Batman cucks Superman.
Yeah, dude. The Cuxtus League, dude.
Dawn of Cuxtus.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Dawn of banging your dead wife or whatever. Or banging.
Or whatever, ... He
doesn't even know what he's doing. Snyder's just like, he shows up with no pants on to the studio. He's like, listen, this is for my creative vision. Now I need you to cuck Superman.
And Warner Bros. Is like, well, you know what? I kind of like that, actually. That's better.
We were going to bring Todd Phillips in here to consult. Not anymore.
We don't need him.
No. You can have Joker.
Yeah. And so basically, yeah, he was supposed to fall in love, and then it was him talking about how, and to Alfred, how he's like, I've never had a life outside the cave, and this is my opportunity. But then he inevitably chooses to bring back Superman and makes this heroic romantic decision. And that sounds horrible to me, to be honest with you. I don't like that at all. It doesn't need to be in the movie. It just doesn't. It's not necessary.
It's also out of left field.
It's weird. It's just kind of a weird idea. It's like a fan fiction idea.
I thought he had more chemistry with Superman's mom.
There was some chemistry there.
Yeah, and it's not like he's that much younger than her.
No, that could kind of work. I think it'd be hilarious.
She was kind of hot.
Yeah. What if Superman just called him Dad?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
a very interesting concept.
Sorry, Lois. Superman calls me Daddy now.
Roll credits. That's it, dude.
Batman cucks Superman. Dawn of stepfatherhood. Dawn of stepdad.
Dawn of stepdad?
Yeah. What are you doing, stepbat? Man, dude, we should work with Zach.
We should, man.
I do want to point out, everybody gets mad when I bring this up, but do you remember when he was talking about, I believe, the Dark Knight trilogy, and he said it wasn't that dark, and he said, like, I mean, it's not like Batman got, like, raped in prison or something.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why is that the bar? Listen, if Batman's not getting raped in prison, it's not dark for anyone.
Well, I don't get where it came from, man. Like, it's
what a weird thing. Was he thinking about that? I mean, we should really get into this.
I don't understand what the point was of what he was trying to say. He was talking about Watchmen, and during the interview, this is from Insider, he revealed that he had very different ideas about the Cape Crusader than Christopher Nolan, who directed Batman Begins. He said,
well, clearly,
he said, I'm going to read this in my, like, ooh voice, because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Everyone says about Batman Begins, ooh, Batman's dark. I'm like, okay, no. Batman's cool. He gets to go to a Tibetan monastery and he gets trained by ninjas, okay? I want to do that. But he doesn't, like, get raped in prison. That could happen in my movie. If you want to talk about dark, that's how that would go. Look, I like Zack Snyder, but this is my
That's
favorite.
the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
It's my favorite Zack Snyder quote of all time. It always makes me laugh really hard.
That's going to be in my movie?
No. He didn't say.
When I make a Batman movie, I'm making sure Batman's getting
raped. He didn't say that it would be. He said, that could happen in my movie. If you want to talk about dark, that's how that would go.
That's really messed up, man.
But we're talking about, I don't know.
Zach, you're a wild dog.
Zach is weird, but also there's, the thing is with Zach.
People like working with him.
Yeah, before we end this, like, I've given him a little bit of flack in this. I would love to meet the man.
He seems like a genuinely nice dude. Like a DC fandom, like you got to hear a little bit from him. He seems like a genuinely cool dude.
I do respect him, actually, believe it or not. And also, you can say what you want about his ideas being, like, silly and needlessly edgy, and I agree with some of that. Like, Joker Jesus. Did you see the image today?
No.
Oh, my gosh. Well, do you want to see it real quick before we end this?
Yeah, I guess I do.
He released an image of, like, the Nightmare Joker, which is how people are defending it. And, no, it's Jesus. That's Joker. It looks like a Marilyn Manson cover.
Dude, that's bizarre. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't really understand. I also said this is starting to look like DC's version of I'm Not Like Other Girls. I like my tweet. That was funny. I'm a funny guy. 30 likes, dude.
Well done.
Suck on that, Oprah.
Yeah, you're famous.
Sorry, Oprah. I was just kidding. Can I have money?
Can I have money?
No, but here's the thing with him. some of his stuff is needlessly edgy, I think, and I think it's dark just to be dark, like, because teens and stuff think it's cool, and I get that 100%. But he's not a bad person. You know, like, I truly do kind of think Joss Whedon is. Now, this is all just my opinion, but a lot of people have said some negative stuff about working with him on Justice League, not just Ray Fisher. There's been a lot of complaints about him coming out, like, over the last month that are pretty bad, with, like, women especially. There were reports for years that he was, like, rude to women, and he would try and use them, essentially, on set to, like, get sexual gratification out of them.
Yeah.
The whole thing with making Gal Gadot lay on top of Ezra Miller's Flash because it was funny, and, like, it seemed like he got annoyed when she didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? He's just kind of a womanizer, and, in my opinion, a dick. You know? I've never liked Joss Whedon for that reason. There's some stuff he's made that I like Age of Ultron I enjoy. But I don't like him as a person. Snyder has gotten such a poor rep and, like, been treated so badly by people. Like seriously. Yes, you have the people who are almost cult-like who love him, which is a little far to me as well. Like, settle down. But you also have these people, like, when his daughter committed suicide, making fun of him over it. It's like, it's horrible, man.
There's no need for that. Yeah.
No, it's horrible. It's like, you can dislike the movie, but, like, that's not funny, you know? And it's not like something years ago, like, oh, like a good Chernobyl joke. No, it's like, dude, his daughter died a few years ago. Like, it's not cool. I don't get the treatment of this guy really at all. Like, I don't understand why people are so angry with him and so bitter, I guess, and just so douchey. Like, if you don't like his movies, don't watch them. But, like, his treatment by this studio, basically kind of shuffling him out for Joss, you know, douchey. His treatment by these fans when he had that family tragedy, douchey. It's all bad. It's like, at this point, like, I'm rooting for his Justice League to be good just because he seems like a nice guy who's just gotten boned in the butt by, like, everybody around him for no reason. Has he said some dumb, edgy stuff? Sure. So have I. You comb through those live streams, you could probably find some real bad stuff I've said too. I get it. But, like, it's just needlessly mean, the way people act towards him. Is this off, like, you know, off topic, I guess, a little?
I mean, a little, I guess, but I think it makes sense. I agree with you 100%. And I think that it's cool. What's cool to me, at least, with that in mind, is that the push for the Snyder Cut and that people wanted to see his work and that it was a worldwide meme for the longest time. That actually was the reason that we're getting it now in March, is awesome. I think that's a cool flip of the script, if you will. So, I agree, like, the way that the studio treated him, the way that the fans reacted to, given, I mean, not perfect products, but...
And not all fans, either. I should mention that,
no,
too. You
right.
didn't say that, but I think I insinuated it was tons of people. I think it was a vocal minority of douchebags.
Which will happen, I think, with a lot of films,
it's just
regardless.
Not necessary.
But, yeah, with the whole, you know, daughter thing, it was really tough. So I think that I'm excited to see what happens with this, and it was fascinating to hear about what Warner Bros. Thought of Justice League, and more specifically an exec.
But it's just so sad they let it happen.
It didn't need to.
And that's the thing is, I think at the end of the day, you need to understand that I like Warner Bros. As a company. I actually do. But this was disrespectful not only to fans, that'll sound a little, you know, entitled, but also to Zack Snyder, the original director. I mean, if you didn't want to work with him, you just say, hey, man, we appreciate your work on the last few movies. You're a good guy, but this is not the direction that works for us. Let's part ways professionally. You don't sort of shuffle him out and then when he's, you know, suffering from a tragedy, just kind of cut him off. That's what it seems like happened.
And then mess with his entire movie. You know, like, just change that, and then it's like, well,
and act
what
like
is
it wasn't his
at
all, and he had no say. And also, you know, just everything going on. I don't think it was respectful to him from the studio. I don't think it was respectful to you and me or any fans, because it basically said, we knew this was garbage, but we wanted your money, so suck it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what it said. And I get they're a company, but you're knowingly releasing a product you know is bad and don't care? Why?
And you didn't interfere when you're known for interfering?
Why
like,
not fix it?
What happened there? Like, why wasn't there an interference of goofy and awful, useless and stupid? I mean,
It's stupefying.
And stupefied. Yeah, and that's what we're describing. I mean, it's just an interesting way that they went around it. And looking back on it now in hindsight, and you keep seeing more things coming out about this movie, it just continues to stain what it is.
And Warner Bros. It's making Warner Bros. Look bad. And there's a lot of stuff like that. I would have said before this year, and again, I know I've worked with Warner Bros. Before. I helped promote DC Fandom, and I've been negative about them a few times recently. I highly doubt they want to work with me again, to be honest, because like I'm not just like a company man who sucks off any company. I just don't think it's worth it. I don't like this stuff, man. It's disrespectful. It's unnecessary. They threw Snyder under the bus. They threw fans under the bus, and I want to see better from them. You know, I know they're capable of better. DC Comics are unreal. They're fantastic. You know, they've produced some amazing movies from Warner Bros. The Dark Knight trilogy, all this stuff.
Their animated movies.
Their animated movies are unreal, man. Their work with Bruce Timm and Paul Dini and stuff. You're better than this. I know it sounds like a cliche #BeBetter tweet, but it's true. You're better than this. Like, this is dumb. At the end of the day, it's disrespectful. And I could ramble on about it. I already have, but I'm just disappointed to hear about it, I guess. Yeah. More than anything.
Yeah, especially when it's crazy to think that it may be, I mean, not that it would have been stopped, but at least altered to be better, maybe? I guess
Batman would have cucked Superman. I mean, we all wanted to see that.
I would have paid for that, and there's no question about it.
And that Lois Lane is very hot, Amy Adams.
Yeah.
Another bath scene, but with Batman this time. With his cowl on. I wanted that. Wait, just show me naked Ben Affleck. I just want that.
We don't even
Amy Adams can be in the other room.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Is that about all we got?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you breaking this down with me, and this whole... it's just frustrating, man.
It is.
It's just frustrating. I hope we see better. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Would you have been a fan of Batman Cuck Superman, Dawn of Stepdad? Would you have been a fan of that? What do you want to see out of the DCEU Worlds of DC going forward? Are you disappointed by stuff like this, or do you just kind of expect it at this point and don't really care? I know a lot of people have hit that point too. Let us know. We have all the links in the description below, as always. The Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, trying to grow all the social medias and stuff like that. A thriving Discord. We hope you will join and be a member of the community. We appreciate you very much. And Jill's Twitter is down there too, my fiance. So she is down there in the description below. She's going to start being in a lot of videos coming up. We appreciate you. Have a fantastic day. And as always, stay shway.